Unit 9 Ancient Egypt from World Watch Social Studies for Primary Schools Book 3. Ancient Egypt was a civilization that thrived in the Nile River Valley in northeastern Africa for thousands of years. It is one of the world's oldest civilizations, with a history that spans over 3,000 years. Here are some key aspects of ancient Egypt. Geography. Ancient Egypt was centered around the Nile River, which provided a consistent source of water and fertile soil for agriculture. The civilization was divided into Upper Egypt, south, and Lower Egypt, north, with the Nile Delta at the northernmost point. Pharaohs. Ancient Egypt was ruled by a series of pharaohs, who were considered both political leaders and divine figures. The pharaohs held immense power and were believed to be intermediaries between the gods and the people. Religion. Ancient Egyptians practiced polytheistic religion, with a pantheon of gods and goddesses. Some of the most famous deities included Ra, the sun god, Isis, the goddess of magic, Osiris, god of the afterlife, and Anubis, the god of mummification. Pyramids. The ancient Egyptians are most famous for their monumental pyramid structures, such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was built as tombs for the pharaohs. These pyramids were built using advanced engineering techniques and served as a testament to the society's architectural and mathematical achievements. Hieroglyphics. The Egyptians developed a complex writing system known as hieroglyphics, which used symbols and pictograms to represent words and sounds. Hieroglyphics were used for religious texts, monumental inscriptions, and official documents. Agriculture. The Nile River's annual flooding provided fertile silt that made Egyptian agriculture highly productive. The Egyptians grew crops like wheat, barley, and flax and relied on a well-organized system of irrigation. Mummification. Egyptians believed in an afterlife, and mummification was a common practice to preserve the bodies of the deceased. This process involved removing internal organs, dehydrating the body, and wrapping it in linen bandages. Write the answers in your notebook. 1. How was the Nile useful to the people of ancient Egypt? Ans. The people got drinking water from the river Nile. They used river water for watering the crops and animals. They caught fish from the river. 2. Why do you think most of the cities in Egypt are built along the Nile? Ans. The Nile helped the ancient Egyptians to travel because boats were the quickest and easiest way to travel. Further, they used river water for watering the crops and animals. 3. How have people used the Nile's water in modern times? Ans. Today there is a dam to block the Nile at Aswan. People can choose when to let the water out to flood the land. Write the answer in your notebook. 1. Why was it important to look after dead bodies in ancient Egypt? Ans. Ancient Egyptians believed that if they looked after the dead, the person's spirit could go on to another life after death. They buried their dead with the things they enjoyed or needed in their afterlife. 2. What could stop them from going on to the next life? Ans. Ancient Egyptians believed that when they died their gods would weigh their heart. If it was too heavy they could not go on to the next life. Write the answers in your notebook. 1. List 3 ways that people became slaves. Ans. Some poor families sold their children as slaves. Rich people owned slaves just as they owned animals. They kept people captured in battles as slaves. 2. How was a slave different from any other poor person? Ans. The pharaohs forced the Hebrew people in Egypt to become slave. Thousands of workers built pyramids and temples. Slaves cut and carried the heavy stone. They did not pay them for their work. 3. Why do you think the pharaohs liked to have slaves? Ans. Egyptian wanted dominion over their kingdom. The existence of slavery made it easier to keep power and stability of the kingdom. Write the answers in your notebook. Why do you think they put statues of their gods in Tutankhamun's tomb? Imagine you are Howard Carter. Write his diary for the day he found Tutankhamun's tomb. You could start like this. What a wonderful day. This morning, we spent many years looking for Tutankhamun's tomb. At last we found big statues of Tutankhamun and Egyptian gods. One was of the goddess Isis. The statues looked as if they were guarding the tomb. There were paintings of Tutankhamun's funeral on the walls. There were paintings of the gods taking him to the next life. There we found a wooden coffin covered with gold. In it was a painted, wooden coffin. When he opened it, he found a solid gold coffin. In it was the mummy of Tutankhamun with a golden mask.
Thanks for watching and listening. If you like my videos, please like and share it, and do not forget to subscribe my channel.